Hello everybody and welcome back to Goodison Park for Everton Live. It's the Premier League fixture, Everton versus Aston Villa tonight. It's going to be a massive, massive game for the Blues. Delighted to say that I'm joined by the lovely, wonderful Ian Snodin.
Thank you, Sarah. That was very nice.
Well, we were just having a laugh, weren't we, Snods? Because we were having a good whinge before. We said we're going live in a minute. We were having a little whinge about the whole fallout of the European Super League and stuff like that.
Don't even mention that. Don't even mention that. But we'll get us Pennisworth in.
Yeah, we will. We'll have to, but we'll have to be careful what we say when we meet you.
Correct.
But obviously it's a massive game tonight, Snods. Following the win at Arsenal, you know, we haven't won at the Emirates in some 20 plus years. What a big result that was, and surely will give us some, you know, extra incentive for tonight's game.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to say I'm delighted that we did win down there, because now we can forget about Graham Stewart scoring that goal all them years ago, because it panned in on him about 5 times, saying last time Everton won at Arsenal it was Graham Stewart. So that puts that to bed. So thankfully we'll not see his face on TV much now. No, it was a good win. Went a great game, but so important we got the 3 points. But we come here back to Goodison. Let's not let that go. Let's get 3 points. Let's get right in amongst it again. The silly points that we've thrown away this season, especially here at Goodison, we could be right in amongst that top 4. But it's another challenge. I think Aston Villa are a good side. They play good football. But I also think everybody's nearly fit as well. We're at full strength basically, bar for a couple of injuries. So there should be no question from the manager. Ancelotti must say, go out there boys, do the business and put yourselves right back in a good place.
Absolutely, we need to make this one count tonight, there's no doubt about that. So more on the game shortly, but here's a look at what we've got to come for you tonight on Everton Live. So to start with, we've got Marcel Brands on his brand new 3-year deal with the Blues. We will have team news here at 7 o'clock, and then we'll be able to dissect things a little bit more. We hear from Mason Holgate on how he feels he's developed since his time at Goodison Park. Ancelotti has an alternative presser, which will be interesting. Looking forward to seeing that. We've got the supporters club of the match, which this week it is from Crew and Nantwich. Goal of the month for April. We'll be hearing from Carlo Ancelotti. We've got some more about, of course, the boycott that is going on with social media this week from the world of football. No room for racism. And then we will have live commentary that, of course, Ian Snodin and Darren Griffiths will be doing on evertonfc.com. So for now, we want to look at Marcel Brands and what he had to say after signing his new deal with Everton.
Marcel, you've extended your stay at Everton for another 3 years. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, first of all, I'm really happy with it. Second, when I came to England almost 3 years ago, my plan was definitely not to stay only 3 years. My job is a long-term job, and in the previous clubs where I worked for, I stayed quite a long time also. So I'm really happy to stay a little bit longer in this club.
How important is that longevity for you?
Yeah, what I say, it's a long-term job. You try to build something for a long time with a structure behind it, from academy to first team, from recruitment to sports science, medical, all departments that are involved in football. So yeah, it takes a serious time to get all these departments in line with each other, and working hard on that.
You spoke about Everton being a special club. You clearly have great affection for Everton. So what is it that stands out for you? Yeah,
when I took the decision to choose for Everton 3 years ago, I've taken a long time to think about it, because it was a big step. But if you only look at last week, I think then everyone knows and everyone recognizes why you should choose for a club like Everton. Authentic. We respect the values of human beings. We respect the values of our fans, and I think that's one of the most important things. I'm always feeling myself close to the fans, close to the people. And I really realized that without fans, I have no job. And at the end, we play football for our fans, and we should never forget that.
Marcel Brands there, and fantastic news that he will be with the club for another 3 years. Now, Snods, I know you've had a fair few interactions with Marcel Brands at Finch Farm, at the ground, etc. What's he like as a person?
Yeah, very imposing figure. Knows his job, and his CV is fantastic. But his job is to bring quality players to Everton Football Club. He knows that, and it's great that he signed another 3 years. I think what the manager and Marcel have bought into Everton Football Club, they know what it's about, and it's not just a passing job for them. They want it to be a long-term, both of them, a long-term fulfilment of employment, and the only way of that is on the team. Be successful if we possibly can, and challenge for the top 4, challenge for the top 6 on a regular basis. So I'm sure Marcel's absolutely delighted. We all want to be part of that new stadium when it gets built, but we also want to be part of a successful Everton team, and that's everybody collectively, from me and you, Sarah, to the top. So yeah, we want to see Everton back where we belong, in the top, and challenging for trophies.
That's what we need to be, isn't it, Snods? Ultimately, I know, we've come on so far this season. We're still right in the hunt for Europe, and still even with an outside chance of getting that top 4 as well. But we want to start seeing silverware, don't we? Do you think Marcel Brands and Carlo, they link up well together? They seem to have a good relationship. They are the guys that are going to help Everton to achieve that. Yeah,
I only read the other day that they speak to each other every single day, so that's a great relationship for a start. So yeah, I'm sure they've got the same ethos, what they want for Everton Football Club, who they want in. So yeah, when you've got a good relationship with the manager, with the director of football, then hopefully things will turn out for the best.
Definitely, and we talk about a lot on this show this season, Ben Godfrey, and I believe he was really influential. It was Marcel Brands who wanted Ben, as opposed to Ancelotti. I don't think Ancelotti was too aware about Ben Godfrey, but it shows that them two work really well in terms of bringing good transfers.
Do you know what, Sarah? I didn't really know a lot about Ben Godfrey, to be quite honest. Obviously, he plays and you've seen odd games, but it's not somebody that stood out for me. I saw Norwich as a team that were going down, and they didn't win many games. But then when you look at them in the Championship this season, they've run away with it. They've won the league, and they have got some quality players. Can I just say, Kieran Dowell got a couple of goals as well today?
Yeah, brilliant.
For
well
Norwich.
Done, Kieran.
Yeah. So, but no, since Ben Godfrey came, from his first performance to now, he's been absolutely outstanding.
Yes, he has. He's been a real one to watch, hasn't he? And one that we're so excited. You forget his age. You forget how young he is.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're looking at players for Player of the Season, young Player of the Season, and there's two in Dominic and Ben as well who could win both of those,
absolutely,
or either, couldn't they? Just on the team as well, Carlo Ancelotti has confirmed that it's, of course, Gabarmin and Decore who will be out for today's game. But other than that, we should have a fully fit squad, which is really big. Do you see Michael Keane coming back in? Do we keep it the same, do we think, as the clean sheet at Arsenal?
I think if I was a player in our defensive team down at Arsenal and I kept a clean sheet and we defended quite well, I'd be disappointed if I weren't playing this evening. Yeah. So from my point of view, I would like to see the same back four. They did nothing well. Nothing wrong, sorry. You're supposed to keep a clean sheet. The defenders have done that. So, yeah, if that were me in any of them defenders' position, I'd be disappointed if I were left out tonight.
Definitely. We were both saying, weren't we, as well, Snods, when Richarlison scored, when Leno scored. Richarlison definitely enjoyed the dance after. I was a big fan of that, I've got to say. I think that's so funny. But, once we did score, we felt that Everton were going to keep a clean sheet, and that that speaks volumes about that back four that we had, and Jordan Pickford as well, who's been, I think, really, really solid since he's come back from injury.
Yeah, certainly has. He must be playing with plenty of confidence at the minute, Jordan. But yeah, people say, Arsenal weren't very good. We didn't allow them to be very good. Let's give our boys a bit of praise. We defended well. Our shape were good, and we didn't allow Arsenal to get through on many occasions. So from a tactical point of view, Carlo got it absolutely spot on.
He did, and that's the thing. We look back, we cast our minds back to the game before that when we played Tottenham at home, and we spoke about how frustrating that was in terms of the result, because it had been a really good performance, a couple of mistakes, and really to our own undoing gifted them a couple of goals. So it sort of swings and roundabouts, isn't it, Snods? You could say we probably deserved the 3 points, played a little bit better in the game against Spurs, but only got a point. But went to Arsenal, maybe it wasn't as pretty on the eye, but as you said, we got it right, and we got the win, and that's what it's about, especially at the business end of the season. It's the points, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We've got now 5 games to go, is it, Sarah? And they're all crucial games, and the belief in that dressing room must be strong. They must realise that they are a good side, and they can prove that tonight. This is going to be a tough game. Villa, I think they've got some good players. Thankfully, they're missing the best player, Grealish, who I think is an outstanding player. He makes them tick, but they've still got a lot of talent in their team, so it's not going to be easy. But I'm expecting a victory. I say every week when I'm here at Goodison, and I've gone away a few times disappointed, but I expect a victory tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we're about 4 minutes away from team news now, so it'll be interesting to see who's going to be out there for the Blues. And of course for Aston Villa as well, like you just said, you know, Jack Grealish, it'll be a massive miss for them, but they've got some class players, haven't they? I think their fullbacks are very talented, and Ollie Watkins as well. We've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin, they've got Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, Watkins is the one. I believe. I think it was Leandri when we're on Sky, and he said he knows him very well, and he said he spoke to Jack Grealish about Watkins, and he went, he's never seen anybody work so hard on a football field, puts defenders under pressure, always making runs. So our back four will have to watch Watkins this evening.
Definitely. Well, they'll have to watch out for Dominic Calvert-Lewin as well.
They will.
And,
of course they will.
He's obviously not been scoring his goals as frequently as what he would like and as what he was at the start of the season, but Ancelotti's also praised his overall performance and what he brings to the team, even when he's not maybe getting the goals, and says, just keep doing that and the goals will come. Do you think a goal will come for Dom tonight?
Yeah, I do. He's one of them boys that he works tirelessly. He's good in the air, he's got good pace, and he makes it uncomfortable for defenders. So he just needs a chance. I'm not bothered if he comes off his backside this evening, as long as he gets back on the score sheet, which I'm sure Dominic's desperate to do. When he's scoring goals, he looks an absolute quality player, looks England international. But when he's not scoring goals, he still puts the work rate in. So he's doing ever so well at the minute, Dominic. He'll do for me.
Yeah, definitely. We love Dom. What a player he is, and how great it would be to see him get back on the score sheet today. As you said, that's sometimes all it takes. You break the seal, you get a goal, and they start flowing again, and that's what we want, isn't it? Like we said, heading into this business end of the season, and with only a few games left, Snods, we've got a few home games. We've still got Wolves at home, which hopefully there'll be fans back for. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We've got Sheffield United at home, who've sadly already been relegated. We've been better away from home. We need to start getting these wins at home, don't we? To how many do you think we'll need if we're to get Europe?
Let's win all 5 and then have no qualms about it. But,
I love that, yeah.
Yeah, there's still some tough games to play. No doubt. I just hope we don't need 3 points in the last game of the season, or Man City take the foot off the pedal, because they're a quality team. They're outstanding. But let's take it one game at a time. I know it's the old cliche of one game at a time, but it actually is. Let's get Aston Villa beat tonight and then look forward to the next game.
Definitely, that's what we need. It starts tonight. It starts with Aston Villa. Massive game. Obviously, Aston Villa have had their own struggles, haven't they, this season? They've had the COVID situation. We're still yet to play them at all this season. Kazoo have been waiting for the Kazoo derby this time. Yeah. But, so it'll be interesting, because we haven't gauged ourselves up against them. We don't know what it's going to be like today. Do you think that'll be a good or a bad thing for us today?
I don't know. I think the lads know enough about Aston Villa and the players that they've got to know what to expect. They'll have seen Aston Villa play on TV quite regular, so they'll know who they're against, how Aston Villa play. But they only stayed up by the skin of the teeth last year, so they've had an improved season this year. As we said, they've got some good players, but I'm not worried about Aston Villa. I'm more worried about how we start the game and how we finish the game. So if everything's right, we win this game.
And it has to be a win, doesn't it? We say it every time here on Everton Live. It's the home games, it's the home form that we have struggled with. But we're going to get the team news in about 30 seconds, actually. But we should have enough quality. When you think they are missing key player in Jack Grealish, when we've got so much quality players like Alan, who's been fantastic, James Rodriguez, who scored game against Crystal Palace, that lovely goal a few weeks ago as well. We should have enough.
Yeah, we're talking about Aston Villa players, but I'm sure Aston Villa, when our team sheet goes in there, they'll be thinking, wow, he's playing, Rodriguez is playing. So let them worry about us. Definitely.
Well, let's see what they have got to worry about, Snods, because the team news is in right now. So in goal, we have number 1, Jordan Pickford, who's been absolutely superb, it must be said, in recent weeks. Number 4, Mason Holgate. Alan, the tough tackling Brazilian. The Pigeon, again, Richarlison, full of confidence after the Emirates. Dominic Calvert-Lewin starts up top for the Blues. Gylfi Sigurdsson in there, who's also been fantastic in recent weeks. Left back Luca Dean, number 12. There he is, the star man. James Rodriguez starts today. Andre Gomez is in there in the midfield. Number 22, Ben Godfrey. And Seamus Coleman, who will be captain today. On the bench, we've got Robin Olsen, Michael Keane, Fabian Delph, Joshua King, Yerry Mina, Alex Iwobi, Niels Nkunku, Bernard, who it's great to see back in the squad as well, and Tom Davis. So we'll have a look at our visitors today in Aston Villa. Oh, what a keeper he is. Emiliano Martinez, Matty Cash, Esri Konsa, Tyrone Mings, Douglas Luiz, John McGinn, Ollie Watkins, the man we were talking about, Bertrand Traore, Matty Target, Ross Barkley makes a return again to Goodison Park, and Anwar El Ghazi. That is the starting 11 for Villa today. On the bench, they have Tom Heaton, Neil Taylor, Wesley, Marvellous Nakamba, Ahmed El Mohammadi, Courtney House, Kiernan Davis, Jacob Ramsey, and Jaden Fulagine Bidaki. Apologies if I've said any of that wrong. Pronunciation's not too sharp on the Villa team there. But there we have it, Snods. Those are the teams for today. What do you think to start with Everton, that starting 11?
Well, have a look at our bench to start with, and how strong has that been? Because recently we've put a few of the kids on who deservedly had a place on the bench as well, because we had a lot of injuries. But when you look at our bench today, it's very, very strong. A lot of international players on that bench, so you can go on the strength of your team looking at the bench. So but I didn't think there'd be many changes at all, if any. So today the lads did what they needed to do down at Arsenal, so why chop and change? They've got another opportunity to go and get a result tonight. So yeah, it's a strong team, one I expect to win.
Absolutely, that's what we want to hear. And of course, Villa as well. Ross Barkley, we've not even mentioned him yet.
No, I don't want to mention him. I'm hoping I'm going away from this game. I like Ross as a lad. I've known him since he was 14-year-old. Going up to Finch Farm, he's always been talkative. He's always come up to myself, Diamond and Sharpie. He's a good lad. But I just hope he has a poor game today.
Yeah, no offence, Ross, but we hope.
No, he can play well after tonight for the rest of the season, but not tonight.
He'll know the score, Snods. He knows you. He's a blue. He knows you're blue to the core,
correct.
So there'll be no hard feelings there. But on Ross, how do you think he's a player that will react to coming back? Obviously, there's no fans here tonight, which it's going to make an impact, isn't it? When you've been an Evertonian, you're used to playing in front of Everton fans. Do you think he'll prefer the fact that there's no fans today? Do you think he'll be embracing coming to play on the Goodison turf?
I don't know. It just depends. Knowing Ross, I think he'll be happy that there's no fans. Yeah. Because he would have got a bit of stick again.
He knows how it is, doesn't he?
Of course he does. And the way he left the club. So, yeah, I think he'll be delighted. But one thing Ross Barkley has got, he's got great talent. Yeah. He's got 2 good feet, so we can't allow him to take shots either left foot or right foot from edge of the 18-yard box, 20 yards out, etc. Because he's a good striker of a football with either foot, as I say. So he's a good player, Ross Barkley. I wish he'd never have left the club, but he is a good footballer, and he's certainly one to be watched tonight.
Definitely, we've seen him. I think we score a few goals at Goodison Park. Hopefully that won't be the case again tonight. Just on Villa as well, any other players to pick out? We've obviously talked about Ollie Watkins. We expected him to start. He does. It's going to be an interesting battle, isn't it? Like
I think the main one is going to be Mings against Dominic Calvert-Lewin. They're both England internationals. They're both strong lads.
Big physical presence.
Tyrone Mings, he organises the Aston Villa defence, and he'll not be looking forward to playing against Dominic. So I see that as a key battle this evening, Dominic against Mings.
Definitely, and then at the other end, you've got some other English centre-halves up against a good English centre-forward as well, and Ben Godfrey and Mason Holgate will be facing Ollie Watkins. So it could be, it depends on both sides how we
it does.
defend.
Watkins has got good pace, and as I say, he runs in behind and he works exceptionally hard, but there's nobody got as much pace as Ben Godfrey. So I think that's one of the reasons that Carlo's not changed it as well, because Ben can match any striker for his pace. So I think it's a good move by the manager to keep the same back four as what played at Arsenal.
Definitely. Well, somebody who was in the back four against Arsenal and is so again today is Mason Holgate, and here he is talking about his time at Everton so far.
Everton's been a part of pretty much all my adult life. I came here when I was 18 and I didn't really know too much about life. I've always lived with my mum and dad when I was at Barnsley and stuff like that. So to move completely the other side of, it's not the other side of England, it's 2 hours away, but it's still a long way. It was hard, it was difficult for me at points. Obviously, you don't really know, I didn't know how to cook, I didn't know how to clean, all these kind of things. But through the support of everyone here, over the years, everyone's always looked after me and looked out for each other, and it's made it really easy for me. I still don't know how to work a washing machine now either, to be honest with you. I used to just pile it up for a week or two and then just take it all in a big bundle to my mum. But as I progressed, I got a cleaner, so now I don't have to take it back. But I still wouldn't know how to turn a washing machine on or anything either. So, obviously Barnsley was 20 minutes away from Doncaster. At the time, Doncaster was in the conference, so they didn't have an academy, so Barnsley was pretty much, Barnsley and the Sheffield teams are the closest ones to me. But Barnsley had a great record, will still have a great record of bringing people through. So I went there when I was, I think the first session I went to I was 6, and then I've just been there and that's all I ever knew growing up, being at Barnsley. And then to be able to get a chance to go out and play for the first team when I was just turned 18, it was unbelievable for me and for my family, and it's something that I'll always remember. It's quite mad because if you look around, there's not, obviously, you're looking at a lot of teams, there's not a great amount, but we seem to have a lot here. Get a lot of banter from the physios and stuff like that when we're walking about and we're talking, just because of our accents. Some are stronger than others. I think probably list of orders at strongest. I think probably Delphi's is strongest. Is broad, really broad, and then probably mine, and then Ben's, and then Dom's. Dom's is not that strong. Yeah, no. Obviously, all my friends and stuff are still back. To be fair, if you ask them, they might say yeah, because when I go back home and I say certain words, people repeat it. Like I'm saying it differently to how everybody else in Doncaster says it. And then I come here and people are like saying things in my Yorkshire accent. So I don't think I can really win at this moment in time. I don't think really anyone's having my accent. Yeah, that was brilliant for me and my family, and a really proud moment. It's a real family club, and to be able to go out and lead the boys was a massive moment for me, and I was very proud to do so. Looking back, obviously, I have come a long way, but when I signed for Everton, this is what I believed I was going to be doing. I wanted to come and play week in, week out. Obviously, it took me a bit of time to do that, but this has always been my aim, so I kind of feel like I haven't overachieved in that sense, because coming to Everton, this is what I wanted to do. And now I've got the chance to do it. It's about doing it to the best of my ability.
Mason Holgate there, lovely stuff from the young defender, and somebody that you know very well as well, Snods, another Yorkshire lad.
Yes, I've known his dad, especially for since I was about 16-year-old. Tony, a great lad, his dad. I've known Mason a long time. He played football against my youngest son at schoolboy level. So I went to a couple of games when Mason were playing there, and he looked a quality player at schoolboy level. He was head and shoulders above everybody, to be quite honest. But yeah, he's a good lad. He knows his roots. He looks after his mum and dad as well. I tell him to, or so I kick his backside. Yeah, they're a great family.
Definitely. He seems like such a good lad and a real leader as well. We talk about Ben Godfrey a lot since he's come in, but Holgate as well, of course.
He seems, to be fair, Sarah, he seems to talk a lot on the pitch. You notice more now when they enter crowd, and you can hear Mason above everybody else, organising, pulling people in, and yeah, it's good that such a young lad is very vocal on the football field. There's at times he can be sloppy, which he needs to get out of his game, but he's a young boy, he's still learning the game, and he will do till he's in his 30s, he'll still be learning. But as long as he gets the basics right, he's a good footballer. And I see him now and again as an holding midfield player as well. He can certainly play that role. Yeah. He's comfortable on the ball, and he doesn't just get his head down and just look to either play back or knock it forward. He gets his head up and he can play it into midfield. So yeah, I think now and again, if we do need unfortunately there'll be a few injuries, Mason could slot into that holding midfield role now and again.
It is a fantastic thing to have options, and as you said, you know, he slots into there and he does it very well. That could even be a different position that he could play equally as well.
He is, because he's very mobile. He really is. He can get about the pitch. He's got decent pace. He's got good awareness, and he can have a tackle as well. So he can play in a few positions: right back, centre back, holding midfield player. So he's decent. He's still the second best player to come out of Doncaster. So
we all know he was number one, don't we?
I tell him that regular.
It's fantastic. And also just on Holgate quickly, I think just his whole attitude, you know, he's a real leader, he's confident,
yeah, he's a winner.
He's not scared, is he?
He's a winner.
Yeah.
He wants to win football games, and that's what anybody who plays for Everton, that's what you've got. First and foremost, you've got to want to be here, which he does, and you've got to want to play in the first team, which he does, and you want to win, which he does. So he's got the basics there. Just keep performing how he is performing.
Definitely. Well, what an abundance we've got of young, talented centre halves. It's just fantastic at this club. But now back to the manager, and here is an alternative presser from Carlo Ancelotti this week. Check it out.
I think it was a different position. I was a good passer to build up. I think James is really better in the final pass. So if I have to choose, I choose James Rodriguez as a passer. Now, I think around 30-40 million. This is the price for a good midfielder. How I was. So I was a good midfielder, not top, and so the price now in the market is around 30-40 million. Well, different. We want to stay quiet. I think, like I like to stay quiet. I prefer Crosby Beach, where you can walk alone, you can think about the strategy of the game, you can think about the lineup. The Gran Canal is a little bit busier, so I prefer Crosby Beach. I think in training the best player was Zidane. I think Zidane was able to do something in training unbelievable. Really, I have a really fantastic memory of him. I think in training he was the best. The technical ability with the ball he was able to do, of course, in training, because he didn't have from their teammates strong contact, and he was able to do unbelievable things with the ball. Well, not easy to say. I think usually a cold player, that can be Shevchenko, that he scored the last penalty in the final in 2003, but could be also, I have a lot of confidence in Sigurdsson, that scored the penalty against Liverpool in the derby. He has to be cold, so or Shevchenko or Sigurdsson.
Yeah, how about that from the gaffer then? 90th minute penalty, who's stepping up, Shevchenko or the Iceman?
It wouldn't be me, put it that way. I'd be stood on the halfway line thinking, put this in. I'd pick Graham Stewart. Oh. Obviously, his penalty in '94 took some pressure, and no, Gylfi's a good penalty taker. I think Leighton Baines were fantastic at penalties as well. Yeah, Unzi were great. Yeah, we have
left back players, haven't we? With
decent penalty takers. We have, but no, not for me. Thank you.
I always think that, you know, as a player, the pressure, and I think Gylfi, you know, fair play to him. He scored some really, really important penalties for Everton this season in particular. That one at Anfield that basically guaranteed us the first win there in 20 plus years. You've got to have some nerve to step up and put that away, haven't you? Know the pressure.
But he's played in some big games, Gylfi, for club and country as well. So he's calm in them situations. His free kicks are brilliant. So he's even closer from the penalty spot. So you expect him to score, Gylfi. But you do need to handle the pressure to take a penalty. It's not as easy as people think, you know. And I know I missed one in a Soup Cup against Rangers in Dubai, and it was when Graham Souness was manager. And Sharpie, to this day, he's still giving me stick over that. It was about 1988 or something like that. And he still says it what about that penalty you missed in Dubai? I'm like...
I love that. All the things that he's won and that, but that penalty you missed in Dubai.
He blamed me. Yeah, he blamed me.
As quality. But no, he's been brilliant. And Gylfi Sigurdsson as well. You know, we talk about players that have improved this season, and I think it's only right that we throw Gylfi's name in that mix as well. He's you know, copped a bit of stick in recent years, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's had some criticism since he's been at the club, and it's not Gylfi's fault that the transfer fee was so extortionate, which it was. It was a lot of money that we had to pay for him, but he's scored some fantastic goals, and he has had a bit of pressure off supporters. But one thing Gylfi does is he works exceptionally hard. He might not have the best of games, and you don't go out there not to play well. But one thing Gylfi does, he works hard, he runs around, he closes down, and he tries to do his best week in and week out. And you can't ask for much more than that. But when he does score some goals, they're fantastic goals. He has you off your seat when he strikes them free kicks or scores some wonder goals.
I was going to say, he doesn't tend to score tap-ins really, other than from the penalty spot, does he, Gylfi? But now we are on to our supporters club of the match, I should say. And this week is a little bit more local than we're used to, Snods, from Crewe and Nantwich. Check it out.
Hi, I'm Steve Thompson and I'm the chairman of the Everton Supporters Club for the Crewe and Nantwich area. The Crewe and Nantwich Supporters Club was founded in May of 2013. It was my father, Alan Thompson, who started the Supporters Club with the support of Mark Jones, one of our founding members and local Evertonians. Sadly, in August of 2013, my father passed away suddenly. But we've kept the Supporters Club going in his name as a legacy to him for getting that set up. We currently have approximately 80 members of the Crewe and Nantwich branch of Supporters Club. The majority of the members are season ticket holders, and a high number of those also attend away games regularly. So many great memories for me watching Everton over the years, some great players and great moments that I've seen. For me, favourite player is going to be Big Dunc. Just epitomises everything it is to be an Everton player, desire, commitment, dedication, and popped up with a fair few goals as well, some classics. Looking forward to the game versus Aston Villa. I'll be watching it from home, as will many others, hoping for 3 points for the Toffees in the push for a European place. Myself and two of the members were fortunate enough to take part in the Sligo to Goodison cycle event a few years ago for the Home is Where the Heart is campaign. Great experience over the few days we were away. Met some great Evertonians who also took part and made friends for life during that trip. Absolutely fantastic event arranged by Everton in the community.
Excellent stuff there from the Everton Supporters Club in Crewe and Nantwich, and everything you need was just on screen there if you want to get involved. A lot of love from them there from Big Duncan Ferguson. He's always up there, isn't he, with people's favourite players?
Yeah, he is. I think the passion that Duncan's shown come through to a lot of fans on the terraces at the time, because in fairness, we weren't going through great times when he was here, and they really didn't have anybody to idolise. And I think when Duncan got his tattoos and he scored goals and he got sent off a few times and he ragged a few players around, a lot of fans idolised him, and he just shown his passion when he was manager as well. He is a very passionate lad and who wants to win football games, and when you've got that passion and determination, the fans like you.
Absolutely, we love him here. Just on the fans as well, we are hopeful there should be fans back here for the game against Wolves, for people watching at home as well. If you go onto the club website for all you need to find out about that. But Snods, how good will it be to see fans back in the Gladys Street back here?
Well, I didn't do the games when we had fans. I think Graham Stewart did the two games that but when they were here at the Gladys Street, but we won the game, so it just shows. And they were saying that they made the noise of 20,000 supporters, our 2,000 in that Gladys Street end. So yeah, I can't tell James Rodriguez what this place is like when it's absolutely bouncing. Hopefully he's going to find out that next season. But yeah, our supporters are fantastic on a night game especially.
Oh.
In a cup game or something like that, what really means something to see this crowd get behind us. It is mouth-watering.
It is, and you know that's what you really want to see, isn't it? Players like Alan has recently said as well, he loves Everton, and you can't help but think, you love it now, lad. Wait till you play at Goodison under the lights. It's absolutely fantastic. Do
you know what? I don't get me wrong. I love playing here. I used to love playing here at Goodison, but see, when you go away, and every time you go away, that away end, no matter if you're near the bottom of the league or you're fighting hard, it's always packed. There's not one seat missing. Every ticket goes week in and week out. It's a great experience to play away from home and listen to our fans.
Definitely. Well, there'll be a few throwbacks in this now because we've got goals versus Aston Villa in the Premier League era. Let's see some limbs in them away ends.
Fellaini, it's there! Valerie Fellaini for Everton! Everton have equalised! Pienaar might hit one from here. Oh my word, what a goal! Teased in towards McFadden and touched back and finished with a club by Tim Cahill. Forward towards Anichebe. Lovely turn by Anichebe, shoots! Great goal by Victor Anichebe! Turned in from Seamus Coleman. Richarlison. After a good run from Richarlison. Can he find the finish? Yes! Cahill. Took the ball away from Osman. It's back with Osman. And Everton have gone in front. And then, oh, what a goal! What a goal from James McFadden! Ramas. What a special goal! For Everton. Lukaku, brilliant! Simply brilliant again. That's a shooting space! Oh, that is magnificent!
Some brilliant goals in there, and it is just great seeing throwbacks when you see fans in stadiums. Can't wait to see that again soon. But on Villa as well, Snods, another founding member of the Football League, big club, full of tradition. They'll be one of the clubs that felt very, very insulted by this whole European Super League thing. That
don't get me started on that.
We'll go and have a drink after and talk about it.
Don't know what the 6 clubs were thinking about, to be quite honest. Football is for fans.
Yeah.
Nothing else. It's a religion for fans. Football, keep it that way.
Definitely, and of course Aston Villa. You know, Aston Villa and Everton, clubs absolutely steeped in history. Absolutely, you know.
I used to love playing at Villa Park. It was a great atmosphere. The away end used to make loads of noise. Everton fan. I remember getting beat as well, 6-2 at Aston Villa one year as well. So that weren't good. But no, some memorable times at Villa Park. They had some good players as well down the years, and yeah, I used to enjoy playing there.
Definitely, I've been there as a fan. I remember a couple of seasons ago when we got beat 2-0, and what a place that is, full of noise. It's an intimidating place. It's no fun when you're getting beat. But keeping it back to things that are present now, and Seamus Coleman, what a guy he is, and here he is surprising a key worker from the Irish Toffees.
Hello.
Hello.
Geraldine there?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Hello, how are you keeping?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm not too bad.
Good. My mum, Maureen.
How are you? How's things?
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
All the Toffees say a big hello.
Well, yeah, tell them I was asking for them, please.
Well,
it'll be well. Do you know what I do miss about this lockdown and everything is after a home game, getting on the plane and seeing all the Irish Everton fans on the way back and having a chat with them all, you know.
I was on the plane once and one of our lot sat down beside you and he was sending pictures round to all of us.
There's a great support in Ireland, isn't there?
Oh, there really is.
Yes.
Yeah, like there's loads have season tickets and stuff. I'd get over about 5 times in the season.
Yeah. And are you missing it? Like missing it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Really miss it.
Missing it a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah.
Does it affect the players
Yeah. What's it like playing
playing in an empty stadium?
Do you know what? At the very start, we played Liverpool. I don't remember. It was the first game back after lockdown in March. So it was weird. It was very weird. It felt like a friendly. It didn't feel like a training match. But I do think just because of the competitive nature that footballers have naturally, I think over time it's got a bit more competitive and it's been a bit more serious. But you still miss it. Like you still miss that walking out the tunnel to the atmosphere. And he's great. The manager's great, I have to say.
He's a nice man as well.
He's a great man. He's a great man first and foremost. Never mind what he's done or what he's won as a man. He's a gentleman, and his record speaks for itself. So, we're in good hands, I think.
And this little fella, Seamus, he was bought in Donegal in a tiny little shop in Donegal.
Oh, brilliant!
He's our little mascot. Sits watching the games.
Great to talk to you.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Oh, and how is that to warm your heart up? You can't see Seamus Coleman and not just feel happy, can you? What a guy he is!
He's the best guy. He's the best guy around here. He's fantastic. He's worth his weight in gold to this football club. For how much he costs, 60,000. Everybody knows that how much he costs, but he brings so much passion, so much energy. I've really got time for Seamus. I think he's a proper Everton legend. He really is, and he loves this football club. And I believe that the manager said he's got a contract for life, or someone did at the club from high above, and rightly so. He's some guy. He's great. What he does with the disabled as well, the disability awards and stuff like that, he's second to none. Nothing's ever too much for Seamus Coleman on and off the pitch, and can't speak highly enough of him, Sarah.
You're quite right that he is an Everton legend. It'd be fantastic to see Seamus win a trophy with this club. I think every fan would love nothing more to see that. But he is a legend, everything he does on the pitch, but equally, as you said, what he does off of it. And Ancelotti's right in saying he's got a contract for life. Do you see him going into coaching, getting his badges, going down a similar route to Bainesy? Or?
I don't know whether he's into his coaching. I don't know whether he's doing his coaching badges, but he cannot be allowed to lead this football club at the end of his football career. We've got to find him some role at this football club, like Leighton Baines. But no, as long as he don't take my job, I'm all right. But no, he deserves whatever job he wants. If you just put him on payroll and just let him sit in the stand and watch us, I don't care. He deserves it. The service he's given this football club is fantastic, and he's a winner. And I want to see him before he finishes playing with this football club. I want to see him lift a trophy.
Oh, it makes me feel emotional.
Yeah.
Just the thought of that. He deserves it.
He knows that as well. He said that to Sharpin, myself, and that. What is it like? What are the fans like when you lift that trophy? When you were walking around with the league trophy when we'd won the league and stuff like that. He wants a little bit of that just before he finishes, and let's hope we can give it him.
He deserves it, doesn't he? He's one of us. He's absolutely one of us. And he's been fantastic, it's worth noting as well, in recent weeks. He's been absolutely fantastic, hasn't he? Showing that despite his age, he's obviously getting on a little bit in terms of his footballing years, but he still can do it, can't he?
Of course he can. He just marauds up and down that right wing. He's brilliant. He goes on runs. He's scored numerous goals from right back positions over his career here as well. So, you'll not get a player worth £60,000 ever again as good as him.
Never again.
As good as him.
Our 60 grand Seamus Coleman, absolutely love the bones of him here, don't we? But now let's have a look at our goal contenders for April. some excellent goals in there for April. I loved that goal against Spurs when Seamus had just come on. Speaking of Seamus, that run down the right-hand side, that
he'd
ball
not been on long, had he? About
just come
a
on,
minute.
hadn't he?
Was it a minute?
Yeah.
30 seconds or so, and he set off down that right-hand side. Yeah, brilliant.
It was fantastic, and then we spoke about him as well. That finish from Gilfie.
Yeah, he opened his body up, adjusted, and just put it wide of the keeper. It was a great team goal. It really was.
Just frustrating we didn't get the win.
I know.
Never mind.
I know.
We're going to get the win tonight.
We are, definitely.
But just in terms of players, we were just saying off air then as well, Snods, we've got the player of the season, young player of the season, coming up for those watching. If you want to vote, go on to evertonfc.com, cast your vote on there. There's so many to pick from, isn't there?
It's tough. It really is. I think I mentioned it a few weeks ago, and I think I gave Michael Keane a good mention. He's not played for the last few games as well. So Ben Godfrey, young player, could be player of the year. I'm sure the fans will make the right decision come the end of it. I'm sure there'll be lots and lots of votes. I don't think nobody will run away with it. I think there's a few players in contention. So let the fans decide, Sarah.
Absolutely, that's what we want. But, that's what you want, and it's not. You don't want it to be an easy choice. You don't want to go, oh, it's easy, we're voting for X, Y, Z.
You don't, because then it looks as though you're a 1 or 2 man team. So we don't want that. We want a good selection.
And that's absolutely not. We're not a one-man team, are we? Got plenty to pick from. On that man, Seamus Coleman. Again, we've just heard from him. We're going to hear from him again. Here's his thoughts ahead of this one versus Aston Villa.
Seamus, is top 4 still a possibility for Everton?
I think for us now, at the moment, we just need to look at today's game. I know it's a boring answer, but there's been many times where we've kind of looked too far ahead, and if we win this and we win that, we can be in a certain position. I think we had a good performance against Arsenal, good result, probably more so than performance, and our home form hasn't been great, so we need to get that right and make sure that we win.
Yeah, what has been the difficulty here at Goodison?
I don't know, to be honest. I think it's throughout the league, and it's hard to put your finger on it really, and it's been disappointing. Thankfully our away form has been so good, which has made up for it a little bit, but we want to win here tonight, and if we do, it means that we've a lot to play for between now and the end of the season.
You talk about the away form. The form at the beginning of the season was so good as well.
Yeah, it was. We just had a period there where we struggled to get results, and I think that's part and parcel of this league. There's ups and downs throughout the season, and I think we're hopefully going to finish strong now. We've had a good result against Arsenal, and let's see how we go today. Aston Villa are a very good team who have ambitions of their own this season, and we need to make sure that we're right at it.
There he is, Captain Seamus Coleman, hoping for a big win for Everton to keep us well and truly in the fight for European football. Oh, I'm getting nervous now the closer it gets to kick. I am, Snods. It's such an important game, this, isn't it? And I think our home form has been so hit and miss. That Arsenal game's got us right up for it again. Do you think, within the team, that will have had a big positive impact on the players and stuff, that win, to think, OK, we're still right in there, we're still in the mix, and even for Champions League?
Yeah, they've got to have self-belief. They really have. They've had some great results this season, and they'll have looked at that one at Arsenal and thought, what a big win that is. And they've got a great opportunity at home. I know we keep saying we've not been brilliant at home, but you're here at Goodison Park, and the first 10-15 minutes of any game's crucial, how you start the game off. I don't want to see us just stroking it around at the back and playing for the sake of playing. Play with a purpose, play with some intensity early doors, and let Aston Villa think, wow, these are up for it tonight. That's what you want to do, right from the first whistle. Get in Aston Villa when they've got possession. Get tight with them, don't allow them to play. And that sets the tempo for the rest of the game then. So I just want to see some strong performance in the first 10-15 minutes and set the tempo for the game.
That's it, isn't it, Snods? It's that aggression and that, tenacity to press, and I think that's something that Everton have done well recently. We've seen that high press, Gilfie, Richarlison, just closing everything down, not giving the opposition a second on the ball. That's what we want, isn't it? We don't want them to feel comfortable in this game at all.
You look at the probably the best team in Europe, which is Man City, in my eyes. Look how they press. When they haven't got the ball, they work the socks off. When they've got the ball, they retain it. They're superb. But when they haven't got it, and Pep Guardiola used to do it at Barcelona, they were outstanding with the football. But when they haven't got it, when they didn't have it, they went and won it back as quickly as possible. And that's what it's all about. Modern football is the high press, get tight with the opponents. If they're deep in their own half, pressurise them, don't let them out so easy. It's hard to keep it going, to maintain it for 90 minutes. You can't do it all the time, but the intensity is there, and if you do, you put the opposing team on the back foot, and that's what I want to see this evening.
Definitely, and Richarlison's ever so good at doing that as well. And on Richarlison, actually, it's his 100th Premier League start for Everton today. It's a good milestone. Do you think he'll be looking to mark that with a goal, with an assist?
I think he's always looking to score goals, Richarlison. He's always looking to be a nuisance to the opposition. You're right, he does work hard. I think Carlo's got me working even harder than the previous managers as well. So he's got everything. He's only a young lad. He's got everything to be a top player, Richarlison. Just wish he'd stay on his feet a little bit more. That does frustrate me. But overall, his energy levels are good. He works hard. He does take quite a bit of stick as well, and he knows where the goal is. So he's got everything to be a top player, and he gets in Brazil's side regular. So he's got everything going for him.
He has, and do you know what I love about Richarlison as well? The fact that he's a bit of a snide. Like, he'll go online, he'll get involved with fans, and like little cheeky comment here and there. Like, he really gets Everton, doesn't he? And
yeah,
he loves
does.
It here.
Yeah, he does. And I was listening to Carlo's questions the other day, and he got on about who's the fun characters going without them shouting you're in. So it was great. But I had a lad called. He's on the scouting group at Everton. He's a scout for Everton now, John Doolan.
Oh yeah.
John was my boot boy. He was hopeless.
Was it? I was going to say, what was he up to standard? Or?
He did me and Sharpie's boots, and it's funny enough because I used to give him loads of stick about my boots not being cleaned, and he still reminds me to this day. I speak to John probably once a week. But then my son was an apprentice at Donny when John played for Doncaster, and he tret him like I tret him, and he made my son's life a misery over his boots and that. So he said, "I told you I'd get you back over
That's
that."
it.
So yeah, John Doolan it were who used to clean mine.
What does your lad have to say after? Is he like, nice one, Dad?
He come home and used, Daddy's giving me earache. John Doolan over his boots. I said he's only getting it back what I give him.
He's savoured that.
He did, absolutely.
I love that. This is a nice question. John B wants to know, any plans for the summer, Snods?
Do you know what? I've got no plans at all whatsoever at the minute. I just want to go over to Yorkshire, see my mum and dad.
Lovely.
Quite regular. So I want to go over there, see my family as well. So I'm just going to have a nice, relaxing summer in Birkdale and up in Yorkshire as well. So and then hopefully back here for next season.
Oh, I can't wait.
I know.
With some fans, that's what we want. With Carlo Ancelotti blasting out from the fans, singing his name. But let's hear from him now ahead of the game.
Carlo, you're unchanged tonight. Were you happy with what you saw at Arsenal?
Yeah, we didn't change because I think we had a good performance, and we trained well, we prepared well the game, and so I have now the squad, most of the players are available, at least all the players available, so this is good news for us. We had problems in the past, and I hope to get the result tonight because it will be important for the European position.
When you talk about a European position, can you look at top 4 for Everton?
No, we never look at the top 4 because I think it's too tough for us. There are 6 places available, and we hope to be in these 6 places.
You would hope to improve your home form, though.
Yeah, of course. I think we had problems, unpredictable problem. We didn't. It's difficult to understand why, because we had fantastic performances away. At home, more difficulties. The last 2 games at home were good on the performance, not good result, but the performance was good. And we hope to repeat the same performance.
Oh, he is suave, isn't he? He is a suave man.
Cool, isn't he?
So cool.
I've yet to meet him, because since he's been at the club, it's been locked down, so I've not had a chance to meet him. Can't wait for the occasion to arise. But he is one cool customer.
Oh, he is. I always think of that coffee thing now.
Yeah.
When Bernard scored, and he's giving it that brilliant. Just quickly, because we've nearly come to the end of the show, Snods. What do you see the result being today?
Well, I'm just watching Aston Villa strikers behind us, and I don't think they've hit the target yet. So
don't jinx!
I know.
We've struck a brilliant one there.
We've just seen one there, so I'm hoping that they haven't got the shooting boots on. But I can see goals. I can see Villa perhaps getting 1, could be 2, but I still think we'll win. So I'm going to go for 2-1, Sarah. 2-1 to the mighty Blues.
I'll take that. A win's a win, isn't it,
Correct,
Snods? Absolutely.
correct.
Well, thank you as ever. Always an
Pleasure.
absolute pleasure having you on here. And you're going to be on commentary now, aren't you, with
I
Darren
certainly
Griffiths?
am.
So go to the website evertonfc.com to get all the commentary. If you want a slightly biased commentary,
Yeah.
that's where you need to
Yeah.
be. But now to finish on, we have seen this weekend that football community has come together to make a stand against racism and online abuse by boycotting social media platforms for the next few days. Here's a little bit about that, and just to remind everyone, there is absolutely no room for abuse.
Whether we're in a stadium or not, there's no room for racism. Not out there, not in here. There's no room for racism.
No room for racism.
Anywhere.
Take a knee.
They kneel in unity.
But without actions,
Genuinely powerful sight.
there are just words. There's no room for ignorance or intolerance, for hate, for injustice, for sitting in silence, for doing nothing.
I'm ashamed, I'm embarrassed. We want equality in society and football.
We all need to do more. Challenge it.
The CCTV will find the perpetrator of that and he will have a lifetime ban.
Report it. Change it. Premier League. No room for racism. Anywhere.